Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Elizabeth Clare Brewington, and I'll make sure that you see my interview with Dr. Stephen. I'll have the link available in the comment section. But we're excited to tell you that he is on the Monopoly show. So if you happen to have Prime, this might be something you might want to watch this weekend. So tell us all about this. First, introduce yourself, and then tell us about how did you get on the Monopoly show?
Well, I'm Stephen Balzac. I'm an organizational psychologist with a background in serious games and the psychology of games and LARP design, live action role playing game design. And about, I guess it was 16, 18 years ago, I kind of lost track now. I was interviewed as part of Under the Boardwalk, the Monopoly documentary. They were looking for an expert on games and who had played Monopoly. And I played it all the time as a kid, at least until my siblings got tired of losing. And
Me too.
and
Yeah.
and so I was very happy to talk with them. So I reached out when they said they were looking for someone. I reached out and they decided I was the one they wanted.
How exciting. So was it 2 day shoot? Was it a 3 day shoot? What
So it was
was it
a
like?
I think it was over the course of a week, and they came to my home office several times, and we recorded it all there. We went through different aspects of the game, some of the psychology of the game. One of the reasons why Monopoly is a game that adults and children can play together, because there's a lot of luck in Monopoly, and that makes it a game where kids can get lucky and adults can get lucky, but it puts them on an even playing field.
So what is the psychology behind the game? I mean, I've always played the game, and now they have so many versions of it. But I played the London version of it, and I know they have
Mhm.
one for our city as well. So what is the psychology behind the game?
Well, originally the game was supposed to show the evils of capitalism, but now it's all about, taking over the property of Atlantic City or wherever the
Yeah,
game is now
yeah,
set.
yeah,
But really, I think it is a game that does help us see there's a lot of luck on all of these things. That sometimes you buy a property and one game it's a big hit, and another game it goes nowhere. And it helps us realize, planning takes us only so far, that sometimes we just have to also get lucky, or as someone I know said, put yourself in a position to get lucky. It also teaches us to deal with frustration and to deal with setbacks. You can go from winning to losing to bankruptcy very quickly in a game of Monopoly with
or
a
jail, or
yeah
go to jail.
with a few bad die rolls. And as I said, it's a great game that adults and kids can play on more or less equal footing because anyone can get a good die roll.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just an amazing game because you really learn so much. And I know my brother and I were very competitive, and I always wanted to have the hotels and the nice cars, and it was always,
Mhm.
competitive. But it has been so much fun. So if you like gaming and if you like to play games and you want to have someone come to your organization to train your team with games, then you might want to consider Dr. Steven. So Dr. Steven, tell us about some of your game techniques that you've been using for training leadership teams right now, and then we'll go into your books as well.
So what I've been doing is live action role playing games. And I started doing this as a hobby when I was an undergraduate at MIT. And over time, this led me from computer science to a doctorate in organizational psychology. And basically, these games are put you in an imaginary scenario that is very, very detailed. Part of the point of the detail is that you can't just look at it and figure out the right course of action
Right.
because there are a lot of other players. A typical scenario might involve anywhere from 15 to 45 people. They have different goals. They have different factions. And just like an office, right? Different departments have different goals, different people have different goals. Even though you're all working for the same company, people are evaluated on different metrics. So the game kind of puts you in that type of scenario, but it's a fantasy. You're not in the office anymore. You're in the fairy tale kingdom of Balmoria, or you're in uh, Miskatonic University if you're doing an H.P. Lovecraft game. And I ran actually an H.P. Lovecraft game at MIT about a year and a half ago now. So each of these games gives you this imaginary scenario, but the skills you use to navigate it are the skills you use every day in the office. You have to negotiate with people. You have to walk up to people you don't know and meet them. You have to reach out to people in other parts of the organization and make connections and frequently figure out how to get their time, how to get their attention, how to get them to want to help you, how to get them to prioritize your needs over somebody else's. And the games help you do that, partly because of the game itself, and partly because of the structured debriefing at the end. Because it's that debrief that helps you turn your experience in the game into the insight that tells you what's going on. Because at the end, when we debrief, we reveal the secrets of the game. We reveal the plots that you may or may not have figured out. And you start to understand, oh, this person was acting the way they did because they had these other goals. This person was acting the way they did because they needed to get this item in their hands by a certain time. So again, you start to see the patterns of how people behave, and that makes you more able to navigate those patterns in real life at the office.
Wow, that sounds like something that every organization needs because many people complain of having a dysfunctional team. And now with the turnover, we had a hiring recruiter talking to us the other day, and she said, previously you'd have 3 months and then they'd fire you. But now she said it's within 7 days. So you don't even have that luxury of getting the 2 weeks vacation pay, like some kind of severance. You're just thrown out like right away. So then as a leader, your team is disappearing because one,
Mhm.
they're fired or they've taken another job somewhere else, the turnover. And then two, you've got all these personalities going on, and now as everybody knows, you know so um, so having you come in there and training the team can help with retention, can help people keep their teams and help them function better. So you've also written a couple of books. So tell us about these books that are currently available, and then the exciting news about your new book that's coming up, which I think is going to be really fantastic.
So my other two books are the 36-hour course in organizational development. That was published by McGraw-Hill, and an organizational psychology for managers, which is published by Springer Scientific. And both of these books look at organizational behavior and social dynamics in a business setting, and they go into the different elements of business, strategy, goal setting, team building, leadership, and time management, and and I should also add space management. How does the business lay out and connect people? And it looks at how these different things interact. As a friend of mine, a former client, once said, I can find volumes on anything you've written, but you're the first person who've told me how it all fits together. Because ultimately, you can have the perfect leadership manual, but it doesn't do you any good if you haven't also built a team and if you don't have a good goal and if you don't have a good story to make your goals meaningful. So it's understanding that you don't need each piece of your organization to be perfect. You need each piece of your organization to fit together. And that's one of the big secrets that I reveal in my books is how to fit these things together, how to
Yeah.
get it so that your goals, your strategy, your team, your decision-making process, your leadership and your leadership vision all start to align so that you're getting the pieces that work together and interact smoothly as opposed to gears grinding and burning out the engine.
That's so true, burning down the engine. Yeah, or having a complete shutdown. So get the two books that are currently available. They're also available on the Brightside bookstore. And then when the new book comes, we'll be launching it on our channel as well. So a lot to look forward. And we're now doing a series for those of you who want to be professional speakers and get paid for speaking. So we're going to use the LARPS theory. So we hope that you will come for the training, and if you cannot, it'll be available on demand for those of you who want to do it on demand. So it'll be launched on our podcast as well as Dr. Stephen's podcast. So stay tuned because we have a lot of things that we'll be offering you in the near future. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and contact us if you would like to attend these events with Dr. Stephen. Thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to book him as a speaker, please do so as well. Would you like to say some last minute things before we end?
Just want to mention my new book will be out, I expect sometime this fall. It will also be published by Springer Scientific, and it's called The LARP Effect: Building Connection and Competitive Advantage Through Story, Ritual, and Role Play. And it is
Wonderful.
based on my 40 years experience designing LARPs and my research into how LARPs and leadership intersect and how LARPs helps you develop better leadership and better team building.
And if you watch Monopoly and you see Dr. Stevens on the show, tell us what you think about it. We'd love to get your comments about what you thought about the movie, playing Monopoly, and his role in the movie. So thank you for watching.
Thank you.